Welcome back to another episode of Beyond Borders. I'm your host, Micah Gibbs, and I'm here with some very special people, and we're going to talk about technology. So, if y'all don't mind going down the line and introducing yourselves, we'll start right here.
Yeah, I'm Pravalika. I'm a grad student here at USM. I'm pursuing Masters in Public Health with Epidemiology and Biostatistics as my majors. I'm a dentist by profession in India, and here I am for the episode.
Okay.
I'm Sakir Mahmood. I'm from Pakistan for my undergraduate in bachelor's in computer science, and recently I have been more interested in filming. Maybe I plan to switch next semester, and yeah, that's about me.
Hi everyone, I'm Asim Dahal. I'm from Nepal. I'm doing my undergrad here at the School of Computing. I work as a research assistant, and I also serve as the head of AI at the Google Developer Student Club, and I'm the DCER 2025 Summer Research Grantee.
Okay, so I'm up here with some very smart people. So, just diving right in, technology is a huge thing in our lives, especially as college students. So how do y'all use technology in your day-to-day? What's the main way that y'all use it?
For me, technology plays a very big role in my regular life. I use it for everything, for studying, to making up notes, and keeping myself on track for the daily activities, also for my assignments, research work, whatever it is. But honestly, I feel I have become too dependent on it nowadays.
Yeah.
Suppose if the Wi-Fi goes out or my phone dies, I feel stuck and lost.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's amazing and useful, obviously, technology, but I think nowadays we have become too reliant.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Technology, it's used in our everyday life. Daily we have become too much dependent on technology. As I talk about myself, even nowadays the to-do list I make, I used to make on writing in notepad, in notebook, but nowadays I make it on Microsoft, the to-do list and the stuff I need to done. So I really also believe that we have become too much dependent on technology and stuff like that. Even my homeworks, assignments, everything is submitted on Canvas here. So I do not need to go to professor to submit an assignment or to get a grade. He's automatically done by Canvas, and I think it's big difference in technology, and it's really advancing rapidly.
I don't think I have much to add. My life revolves around being on technology and trying to improve technology and trying to improve parts of life with technology. So I don't think I have much to add to what you guys already said.
Well, I'll take this opportunity to add. I agree with y'all. I've seen the change because when I started off in school, it was all pen and pad. It was all pen and pad. We had pencils, we had crayons, stuff like that. But we've seen this shift to where children are using iPads. We came up with computers and stuff like that, and to your credit, I don't have to go to my professor. I don't have to say, here it is. I can just turn it in from home whenever I want to, at what time of night, what day, it doesn't matter. And this semester, I actually had a class that kind of threw me for a loop because the professor doesn't allow us to use electronics. It's all pen and pad, so it's I'm kind of reverting back. And I've seen the changes in my grades, I have to be more attentive. So technology definitely has taken away that attention to detail, I think, for us as, students and just people in general. But going forward, we're all from different countries and all from different nations. So what is the biggest difference you see from technology in your country to here in America, the use of it? How is it different?
My answer would be, I come from India. I think it's majorly the same, the smartphone, apps, internet, everything majorly is same, but it comes to the usage, it could be different. In India, I come from a southern part of the India, from a city which is a hub tech, but it's not very, the people there are not too reliant on technology, I would say, than in US. Here it's so much integrated in day-to-day life, but in India and the place that I come from, it also depends on background and the place you might come from, that people don't use it as much as here. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm from Pakistan, and I believe in Pakistan, like, we have technology very much advanced, but the usage is very different, you know. Like, here, professors, I have one class here of mathematics that I didn't even met professor even once in that class, and I have like a good grade, you know. But in Pakistan, it's not even imaginable, you know. You have to meet with professors daily, and you have to submit your assignments by hand. Like, it's not that concept, like you have to be fully online and doing stuff from back your home, that you do not care about the time. Like, you know, in here we are like submit assignment like at 11:30 or 11:59, you know, it closes at 12 p.m., you know. So it's a big edge technology has given us. But in Pakistan, like, professors are like, I would say, a little bit outdated, and they do not want to like shift everything to technology. Like, there's a little bit of reluctance, I believe, and I think it will be with time passage, it's gonna change everything, and it will be gonna same as in here.
I think in Nepal, from where I come from, is fundamentally and rudimentarily different than how it is in the West, because when you talk about technology in terms of hardware, let's say, the most advanced piece of supercomputer that you have in Nepal is donated old computers from Switzerland.
Yeah.
And the most advanced piece of homegrown technology you have is a poker game. So in the US, while you have things that are quite different in terms of technology, the most advanced things we are producing is still in a very infant phase, I would say.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the uses of technology or the software part of the technology, it's very vulnerable. The area is very vulnerable. It's more government control than it is in the US. Everything like the banking apps, if you are a broker, let's say you wanna trade shares or something, you have to go through the formal government process here. You don't need to. You can just put those information out there.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the fundamental of how you use the technology, it's quite different. Here it's like an enabler. There is like a blockade in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I didn't know that, because here it's all about private companies, you know.
Yeah.
Just the fact that y'all have to go through the government is like, that's shocking. Like,
Yeah.
we go through private companies, everything is owned by, you know, a certain company, the app is ran by a certain company.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, that's a very, you know, different. I wasn't expecting that, you know. I'm just used
Yeah.
to, oh, this company owns this app, this company owns this app, so this is who you
Yeah.
answer to, and there's no government interference. But that's interesting. So touching on what you kind of touched on, the accessibility based off of class, how is that? And we're gonna start down here on this end. Like, do you see people who are, I know here in America, pretty much everybody, no matter what income or what, you know, where you from, you have some kind of device. How is that in your country?
It differs quite vastly. If you go to the capital city, everyone needs to have some piece of access to technology to communicate. But if you go to the more rural areas,
Yeah.
there would be villages which don't have electricity.
Yeah.
So in a place where there's no electricity, having tech is just a dream, you know.
Yeah.
Even where I grew up, I remember we had electricity when I was, I think, 5 or 6 years old. Before that, we didn't have such facilities. So, it's really difficult to train old people to use technology. You know, it's a huge investment, and I don't think any country is willing to take that initiative to train everyone. But if you move to more of the developed regions, let's say, or more of the capital city or the bigger cities, then it's vastly different, because everyone uses technology. They're trying to control things, what people use. They're trying to control them on social media and everything. So I'd say it vastly depends on what region of a specific country that you watch upon, and I think it would be same for Pakistan and India as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, like in Pakistan, the bigger cities, everyone have using their smartphone and stuff like that, and there are some people who do not want to accept technology. Like, it's very little population, like 1 or 2%, but I feel like the person who's not accepting technology, like he's doing harmful to himself, like
Yeah.
he's doing harm to himself. And for as we talk about old population, like they are totally unaware of it, they do not know how to use that, and anyone do not like government, and there are no efforts to let them like know how to use or do investment in that, because they believe like there's no fruit we can bring that from, and it's not usage for us from that. And most importantly, like old people are really not accepting that technology. They believe like it's not where the world should be heading to. They believe they have like old mindset in them, like, but the new generation is like fully adapted to technology. Even the children have today iPads and stuff like that, always watching their iPads and doing things, you know. And yeah, I think rural areas have also like very much advanced now. Everywhere is internet, 4G at least, you know. And there are like little parts where you can't access internet, but nowadays it's rapidly growing and new companies are there to cover those.
In India, I think the technology is accessible, very accessible, I would say. But then, of course, urban areas and places like cities might have some advantage with infrastructure and affordability to these things. But it also depends upon a background or many other factors that could influence a person to use the technology. So accessibility is one thing, but adoption of technology is the other thing. I mean, in a city, there could be one person who would use apps for everything, but there could be another person in the same city who doesn't use far beyond, making a call with a smartphone. So I have seen two extremes of this in the same city. So it could be more than accessibility. I would say adoption of technology is a thing.
Yeah, most definitely. And just hearing y'all talk kind of made me think about it a little bit more, because we're in Mississippi right now. Mm-hmm. Mississippi is pretty, by standards of other countries, is pretty technologically advanced. But when you compare Mississippi to New York or California or some of these other more technologically advanced cities and states, it really puts in perspective that every nation kind of has that hot spot where the development happens, where that new groundbreaking software or hardware comes out, and it's interesting to see that around the world. So, just touching on the area, I'm from Mississippi, I'm from this state, I'm from the U.S. So how do y'all use technology to stay in touch with family members, and do y'all use social media, or is there like a app that y'all use?
Yes, it just makes me smile because platforms like WhatsApp is almost everything for me. I just video call my parents every day, almost every day, and I keep sharing them voice notes, pictures, videos of everything that I do here. It's never no. I mean, makes me feel more connected to them. Also, without that, I think I'll definitely way more homesick. Yeah. So yes, I use it. I use it definitely. And another thing, I can't think of anything, but yeah, that would be my say.
I would say like it's Asian. I think I would say Asian culture that you have to your parents are really worried about you, and you have to talk with them daily, So we are obviously using these platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook to connect with them, but mostly we are using WhatsApp, because it's an easy calling, and it's more common in there. So yeah, I think we are using that thing. We send daily them pictures, videos as she shared, because they are not satisfied with just our voice call. We had to do the video call and send us our pictures. And what I did, I thought I have to send these things to my parents. Why do not I create videos daily and show that to people also? So I'm here just 93 days. So I created reels daily here, day in my life and stuff, so that my parents can also see, and at the same time I can grow my social media, So yeah, I'm using social media a lot,
Yeah, I think WhatsApp is not as used in Nepal as it is in India. So primary mode of communication in any Nepali household, it would be via Messenger, because when internet took over, Facebook took over in most South Asian countries, I believe, and when Facebook took over, Messenger just took over alongside. So for me, it will mostly be Messenger, but I don't stay active on Messenger quite. I call my parents once or twice a week, and yeah, it really helps us to like when you're feeling low or something, you just know that there is a place where you can connect with your loved ones at any time.
Yeah.
So it's good.
It's really cool. Like I was thinking like WhatsApp would be used in Nepal too. I think in India mostly WhatsApp is used, obviously.
I mean, we use every possible platform. I think we are there everywhere. And also, we can't imagine back then people used to write letters and wait several weeks to hear back from others. And I can't imagine that right now. Like, we can't have that.
Now
life.
I just feel like you are sitting in front of that person, you know, on video call, you're chatting with them, like, like they're friends. And I also want to talk about something like in Asians. I do not know about US. Like some apps are banned, or you know. In US too, like TikTok was like supposed to be banned, you know. And I think I want to like take your opinions on like how do you see that like technology have some, you know, disadvantages and stuff like that.
The main disadvantage I see with technology is the fact that it can divide people. I think that technology provides, especially social media, it provides like a little snapshot of what's happening, what's really happening, and a lot of people don't take into context like everything else, so they just see that little snapshot and they make a whole judgment about something. So I think that that's the biggest negative, is that people tend to just look at that and think that's the whole thing about everybody or a certain, you know, type of people, and I think that's something that's really negative that's growing a lot and you know, with social media and technology.
Yeah, I agree with him. I mean, with overgrowing technology comes the challenges as well. We hear a lot of scams and fake reports that are virally spreading all over the platform, so that could be the thing. The other is being too reliant and losing our human connections. I think these are the things, the advantage.
That's the primary reason I do not have an account on TikTok or Twitter, because when you have people and when you have their opinions and they know there's no consequence for what they say or what they do online, then they can say whatever they want to, and it's just a way to make other people pissed off, and they get some good energy out of it or bad energy out of it. But I tend to stay away from what's trending. I still know what's trending, I read the news and all, but I tend to stay away from over reliance on, you know, engaging on technology. That part of technology, let's say.
It's definitely dangerous to the mind and to the mental health. And we're college students, you know. That our mind is the most important tool we're using right now. So we have to make sure that stays intact. But moving on to the next question. So, how have y'all used AI to kind of help y'all acclimate to American culture? Like, what was the tool, or did y'all use any AI, anything to kind of break that language barrier? And we'll start on this end again.
So I mostly use AI for my research work when I don't want to write long paragraphs of documentations, or when I have an idea that I quickly want to implement. So I just do vibe coding with it. When it comes to culture, I don't think I've like used AI to get with the culture, the American culture, because I believe that everyone has a different culture. You can learn about the culture without using AI. And I don't think AI will truly represent any single culture, because every culture has good and bad aspects, and with the amount of moderation on AI safety you have, you will not get the true reflection of both the good and the bad. So I mostly tend to get what the American culture is by reading news and by following the news. And apart from that, I just use AI for vibe coding, nothing more.
Same here, like I didn't use AI for cultural thing to learn that. Mostly I learned culture from meeting with different people and socializing with others. And although I used like AI in my daily life, like if I'm gonna do something, I will be asking AI to how I can do this. Even when I make script for my videos, I tell AI, I did this today, give me a script, you know. I'm so much reliant and dependent on AI. But not culturally, I took any advice from him, and in academics it's a lot of help, you know. It can tell you like briefly taking out all the information, the best sources possible, so I see and look into that sources, and you know, it's really helpful.
So I think I agree with you all. Like culturally, it's better to depend on the locals or the community and learn from them more than AI. So I don't really use so much of AI. also it's not even for the education purpose. Yeah, of course, I rely on sources which are accredited and where we can, where there are supported research that supports them, but then not too much.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, that's been a very hot button issue in all of the world, just AI usage and how do we use it and how do we stop from, overusing it. And I think that we've seen a acceptance almost, like it's kind of like we're trying to find the middle ground of what is acceptable for AI and what's not. Like obviously you don't want to make art and videos and stuff like that. That's where it kind of gets tricky. But research and like you said, kind of building that format for the script to help you out is kind of the thing that we're seeing with AI. So what are some apps that y'all like to use? What are some apps that are in your country that might be different from over here that we do not have in the United States?
I would say like the biggest thing I miss in Pakistan is like Amazon. Like it's missing from in Pakistan. I do not know why it do not come there, but it's not there. And although there's a company called Daraz, it's also a Chinese company, backed by Alibaba, and we do our online shopping there. Like it's a lot booming market there, e-commerce in Pakistan right now. But I believe that Amazon's logistic and the stuff they do and the efficiently the way they do is like really amazing. So I really believe Amazon should be there. And Pakistan's industry of e-commerce is really booming, so I think they should be there.
One app that I really miss is it's called PhonePe. It's similar to UPI in India, so you don't have to carry around your card everywhere. Just scan a QR code and you make your payment. So I think that's really useful. It's just connected you to your bank. You scan QR codes and then you make your payment. I see some form of that technology in the US, but it's not heavily adopted because you guys are more dependent on cards, which cards to use right now. So in a country like Nepal and India, where vendors cannot have the card reader machine because it costs a lot of money, having that kind of innovation, it has really helped us to switch to e-banking. But I think that's the only piece of technology that I miss here. Apart from that, US pretty much has everything that I need. Yeah,
it could be different, but there are replacements here. There are some entertainment apps that I would be missing on, like Hotstar, Disney Hotstar, that is not accessible here, and some e-commerce, Myntra, or some regular ones which we were using there. Yeah, as you mentioned, the wallets are also missing, the PhonePe, Google Pay, but there are replacements here. So it's easy, it's okay.
Yeah, for sure. And to touch on like the little tap pay or this QR code, we have Apple Pay. Yeah. That's kind of like our little, that's kind of like our little replacement. But I mean, like you said, cards, like credit cards is huge in America. Like we want to use credit cards. We want to use those swipes. We want to make sure people are buying like those plans and stuff and all of that. But this has been a very interesting conversation. I've loved to hear these different views and stuff. This has been very insightful. So kind of getting towards the end, how do y'all feel like social media regulation is in America versus y'all country? I know you said that, certain banking apps are monitored by the government. Do you think that we could, is there any changes that America could make to social media?
I think in Pakistan, social media, there are very little regulations. Like there's complete freedom of speech. Anyone can speak anything about someone and pass on comments and judgment. And I think that's actually not a good thing for some reasons. You are bullying and some people and trolling them so badly that they are like on verge of suicide. So I think there should be an edge. Right now there's agency FIA, like which monitor the accounts, but it's not that transparent and it's not efficient in dealing in it. And I believe that in USA there's some sort of limit and barrier you do not have to pass. Although there is a freedom of speech, but you have to be in your limits. So I think that's the barrier and limit we have to understand.
Yeah, I think a problem that comes with the community control, especially in countries like Nepal and India, we have 126 languages in Nepal, and I think in India you have more than 1,000 languages. So the community checks are not quite possible, and the government constantly tries to make deals with these companies to make sure that the government has the control. of what's on social media, but that again leads to the government having too much control. Like recently, I know in India, a comedy show got banned because they were saying it was not family friendly. The entire premise of the show was not family friendly, so you are not supposed to watch it with the family. But they banned it, saying it was not family friendly. So the government, I believe, has unnecessary amount of control in it. I think people should be have freedom to say what they want to say. If they don't want to say, just close your phone.
Yeah, of course.
Just close your laptop if you don't like it. You are not forced to watch it.
I think the laws are there, but there needs to be regulation and enforcement and more education about these laws and how it is to be there. So the laws are definitely there, but there is still need for improvement.
Yeah, I completely agree. A big thing in America, and I don't know if this is big in y'all countries, but people doxing people where they, find the IP, pull the IP, get the address, and they send, police officers swatting. That's a big problem here as well. So that's all stems from social media. People get in arguments and it has real world consequences. People are in danger. Police officers are going into there. They don't know what's happening, but just because you want to play a prank on somebody because they said something you didn't like is crazy, and there's no repercussions because we don't know who said it. So I think the autonomy of social media is very dangerous. But we're getting to the end. Any more final thoughts that y'all would like to add before we wrap this show up?
Tech is great. Make good use of tech. Don't misuse it.
Yeah, of course.
And I would say that technology is really booming, and we'll need to be more careful about our usage, and most importantly, would make sure that technology do not make us lazy. Instead, it should make our life more productive. And that's the thing for me.
Yeah, hearing from you all, I think it's the same. The technology is everywhere there. It's about adoption and how different countries and people use it. I think, as I said earlier too, that with growing technology, it is also important for us to have a balance about ethics and have a have a connection, the human relations and the natural connections that we already have. Having this balance is important along with the technology.
Okay, yeah, of course. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Beyond Borders. I've been your host, Micah Gibbs. You can tune in and watch this show on our YouTube, Southern Miss Student Media, and you can find updates and more about Beyond Borders on our Instagram at sm2.usm. Again, my name is Micah Gibbs, and I'll see you next time.